Hi guys, welcome to the Original Games UK, talking about Elden Ring and the 10 things that I want to see in the game, ranging from the kind of very feasible, they've had it before, to the kind of out there, probably not going to happen, but I thought I'd have a mix. And I say these are just my personal thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Some stuff is probably going to upset other people, some stuff not, but I hope you like the list. So I'm going to start things off with multiple pathways. Similar to most From Software games, I like them to keep that idea of that, okay, well, there's that area that I could go to, there's this area, so you've always got options available to you, so there's never like, be like, oh, okay, I can't do this boss, but this is the only thing that I can do, there's nowhere else to go. And obviously, you're going to get to a point that that is the only route that you could potentially take at one point. But I do like the idea of having multiple ways to go from the start, and it's like you kind of feel that you're creating your own journey rather than this is the set path that you go on. You have to do this area first, then that one, then that one, then that one. You know, it's good that it, like, you know, kind of if it's an area that you should be going to and if one's not. But I do like the idea of it being open world from the start. So multiple pathways is something that I know it's probably going to be in the game, but I definitely want it to be in, and just so having that as an option. Another one for me is customization, upgrading around weapons, armor, those kind of things. I think Dark Souls is a game that does the upgrading of weapons so perfectly, along with armor. There's lots to do. You can customize them into various things, whether you want it to be fire based, lightning based, etc. And I want that to come back. That's an area that Sekiro didn't do as well. I love the combat in it. It's, you know, up there is one of my favourites, but if it's not the kind of combat that you like, you prefer far range, you prefer magic, then it doesn't really cater to everyone. So I feel that you should be able to have the options of being able to upgrade very soon into the game and really make the weapon that fits you, and you could upgrade it to be like, oh, if you do a backstab an enemy, it's going to do much higher damage. Like, break it down into those kind of things. If I hit like an enemy from a certain amount of distance away, that I will do double the damage, or, you know, obviously not make it broke, but that kind of idea. Here's one that for me is very important, very simple to have in the game, and I just feel that it's needed. The option to pause the game. You know, I'm sure that there's lots of people who are just like, you shouldn't have the option to pause because, I don't know, like, you don't feel the jeopardy as much and you can have a breather and stuff like that. It's like, I get it, but being busy and, like, you know, if we have to break off to, like, do something, the option to not pause it is just, it's just mean. There's so many times in Dark Souls that I'd be like, oh, I've got to break off and I can't pause it, and then I go back to it, it's like, well, I've obviously died, so pause. One of the biggest ones for me, and probably one of them that I know isn't going to happen. Not fully anyway, they could probably do it in a much smaller scale, but couch co-op. How awesome would it be to be able to do a From Software game? Not in terms of just summoning someone in or having them with you for like a set period of time, but to actually go through the whole game and have a save file that's intended for 2 people. You have, you know, double the amount of enemies, twice as hard, all that, or however they want to do it, but it is the full experience. And yeah, I can imagine that it's not going to be doable to have it all processing on one console at any one time, but my god, we can dream. And that is something for me that, like, if you guys know the Tales of series, an RPG where you have up to four people playing, you know, one game, even though it's really one person controlling it, the option of having multiple people play at one home multiplayer, not in the current situation. That aside though, couch co-op, yeah, that, if that got announced, I could see, you know, me playing this game for years and years and years and coming back to it if it's got that same kind of feel of it, that risk reward and the overcoming the odds and doing that with someone else sat next to you. I mean, these are some of the games, From Software games, that are the best to watch other people play anyway, because of that level of skill you need and perseverance to, and then you want to watch someone, and you know, some people watch it, it's for the person to eventually overcome those odds, and then you also have the people who just want to see all the salty playthroughs and whatever though. But if you've got someone next to you experiencing that at the same time as and it's cooperative, it's like you're both in this together, you're both learning at the same time. So yeah, cool mechanic. I would love to see that probably more than anything else, but equally I think it's probably the most unlikely thing on this list. Secrets, secrets, secrets. Another reason we all love the From Software games is, you know, the secret paths, the hidden walls, the having to go the weirdest possible route that you don't think you ever find, and then when you find something you feel like you're the only person who's ever done that. I want that to continue, and I think the message things that people leave, that's really cool to be able to find these things out, even though a lot of them are trolls. But yeah, the more secrets the better. And then another one that I like that kind of links in with that is, rather than all the treasure chests being like a set drop of like, that's going to drop a slab, that's going to drop a piece of armor, that's that. You need to have those, but mixed in with that, I'd like there to be the option kind of in that the Neo games got, that Fallout's got, Skyrim, that some treasure chests aren't a set item. It's a random thing of, it's like a random set of armor. So someone's always going to get armor, but someone may get something that's like, you know, really like heavy armor, or it's got like strong fire defense or something like that. And then that way, that also leads into the customization of the character. And then you can be like, oh, what kind of armor did you use for this one? And I had this one early on. And yeah, I just think it makes everyone's experience of the game so unique, but you're still overcoming the same enemy, if that makes sense. So yeah, so to recap so far, I want multiple pathways, couch co-op, the pause option, customization of weapons, secrets, and kind of random loot. The next one I feel is a must, and the way that From Software games does DLC can be frustrating, especially if you don't have the time to maybe do another run through or have to play halfway through the game to access DLC. I think the requirements behind quite a lot of the games are just unnecessary. So what I would feel would be the best way is if they're doing it like you have bonfires like other games, that from any bonfire you've got on a new game, on a current game, on a completed game, whatever, you can walk to the DLC area and access it that way. Yeah, I feel like that's something that they should have done a long time ago, but also knowing Miyazaki, because he's already done this on so many games now of having there be, you know, strange requirements or having to go to a certain part of the game, I can't see him changing it. But for me, I would like it that it's like, I bought the DLC, I just want to play it now. I don't want to have to play over certain bits of the game that I may not necessarily want to have to play again to do something that I've paid for. So yeah, I think that's one that would be, it's very, very easy to do. Whether they would do it or not, who knows? Let me know in the comments down below if that's something that you guys are bothered about, if you've not even really thought about it, or if it's something that you prefer it the existing way. You know, whatever. I'd like to know, because I've never really heard anyone else talk about the way that From Software does DLC. But for me, it's an odd choice. Yeah. One that I think is the most important for new players or players that have played the game before and left because they didn't quite understand it, they didn't get the whole concept of it. Me being one of those initially, until I was like, you know, converted to be like, okay, this is the game, this is how I do it. The tutorial mode. Either at the very start of the game or as a separate mode on the main menu, and it can literally be like, this is the concept of the game. You have a bonfire or a safe zone, and the idea of the game is to slowly progress through it by, you know, you've got the bonfire, if you go and kill some stuff, you get some points, bring it back. If you die again, you don't get them. Blah, 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 blah. Conserving stamina. Do you block? Do you attack? there's fast attacks that allow you to do more attacks, but the slower attack drains more stamina but does more damage. Just, you guys know what I mean, but I do feel that it's really important, and isn't it better to... I know that one of the things that keeps the game going is, you know, the learning requirement and the difficulty level, but isn't it better to get more people into the game and understand how you actually play it? I think that'd be something that would be really useful, and it's kind of like, it's not going to harm anyone to have a tutorial in the game. So yeah, maybe if they just have that at the very start of the game, optional, you can skip it if you want. But if it's something that you're like, yeah, I do actually want to know how to play it and what the whole point of me doing it and how the intended way is to play the game, I thought that would be useful. The next one I think is going to divide people. No gimmicky bosses. And what I mean by that is, you know, the Souls bosses, the From Software bosses, when they get it right, they're so good. You feel that level of accomplishment. What you don't want though is a boss that you die to more than any other boss, because it's not like a standard like one that you've got to fight. It's, you know, I've got to look around the room and find this, like, you know, this mechanism and drop this, or I've got to run away from the boss to make it like none of that. Like maybe if there's like mini bosses or like certain enemies within the game, that's fine, like to like kind of like, oh, I'm not quite sure how to kill that. But as a main boss, yeah, I prefer the less gimmicky style bosses. So for me, I don't need any of that. And one that I think, and this is the last one, I believe this is all 10, that I think would add to the game so much, and it would keep people playing it even if they're struggling, and then for the people who are really good at the game, they also benefit from it. And what it is in-game challenges that reward different things. So for example, it could reward you by giving you souls. Kill 100 enemies, earn however many souls. Did a boss within less than a minute. So it's kind of like something that everyone's going to get, and something that other people would, you know, not many people would get, and you could get, they could really, people are going to be grinding this game no matter what. So the stuff that you get from them doesn't need to be broken, doesn't need to be mega powerful. It could just be like, you know, a Titanite shard, one of the weapons that you get maybe like in the next area. Neo is the kind of game that I thought of when I was thinking of like in-game challenges, and I thought like Neo has loads of them. You get it for every single enemy that you're killing, every single weapon type that you're using, and I found that was really fun and kept me coming back for more, because I was like, oh, I'll go to that area and I'll see if I can do that boss without getting hit. I'll see if I can do that boss in less than that thing. I'll see if I can do it without, like, you know, you could have it same one, like going through an area and not resting at a bonfire. If you don't do it, no harm done. If you do it, just a nice little thing to kind of say in the game, and then you know you've done that. Guys, you may have noticed that I didn't include PvP. I know for actually the majority of people that is something that a lot of you guys want, and it's something that you guys want, you know, it'd probably be like your #1 on the list, and I hope that it is in the game for you guys, and I'm more than happy for that. It's not something that I'm too bothered about actually accessing within the game, but I feel it is something that like does add to it. One part though that I don't want is that PvP has stuff that you have to do PvP to get unique items, unique weapons, towards trophies. For me, that's not something that I want, but I do want it to be in the game for everyone. So yeah, so that's why I hadn't included that. But and that may upset you guys if you're like, my God, you want pause more than PvP? It's not that I want it more, it's just something that I feel has to be part of the game for me to get the maximum out of it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my top 10 things that I want included in Elden Ring. To recap, those were multiple pathways, couch co-op, the option to pause, customization of weapons, secrets, random loot from treasure chests, DLC to be easy to access, a tutorial option, no bosses that are gimmicky, and in-game challenges. I hope you guys like the list. Let me know the top 10 things that you're excited for about Elden Ring and that you want in the game, and I shall see you guys soon.